Michael Jordan is one of the most recognized names in the world and among the most dominant and gifted athletes ever to play professional sports. But how does a man who has been called the most competitive person alive still compete when there are no more games to play, no more championships to win? It's a question Jordan tries to answer in his new book, Driven from Within. Tonight, in his first major television interview since he left the spotlight 2.5 years ago, he talks candidly and sometimes painfully about the game he loves, the business empire he has built, the murder of his father, his problems with gambling, and his hopes for a quieter, more private life. I've heard you say that now that you're retired, you're trying to take your life back. Who are you trying to take your life back from?
From the public. For years, you find yourself doing things for them, trying to appease them. When you're out in the public, they come up, they want to meet, greet, say hello, sign autographs. But I want them to understand this is my time. This is not your time. This is my time now.
For almost 2 decades, Michael Jordan belonged to his fans, millions of them who watched from the sidelines as he led the Chicago Bulls to 6 NBA championships.
The Bulls win! They win!
He became the ultimate sports icon, one of the best-known athletes in the world who literally defied gravity. There were times when I would watch you play, either in person or see a highlight reel, and you would elevate for your shot. I mean, it was almost like you had another gear up there, like you were flying.
Well, I mean, we all fly. Once you leave the ground, you fly. Some people fly longer than others.
Some people fly higher, too.
And higher as well.
Today, Jordan is still flying, but at lower altitudes. We caught up with him recently in Las Vegas at the annual Michael Jordan Senior Flight School. It's a 4-day training camp where middle-aged guys who love the game pay $15,000 to get the full Michael Jordan experience, to play ball with him, to get fouled by him, and to get abused by him. What does he say to you on the court?
Come on, it's like playing against my son. You're a midget. I mean, he's just very funny.
Mouse in the house with you?
Mouse in the house.
Come on, mouse in the house.
Anything to try to humiliate you.
This is funny.
With competition like this against guys who play mostly on the weekends, it's surprising that Jordan even broke a sweat, but he did, playing with intensity, pulling on shorts, and talking trash.
I know you're looking at the ball. You're thinking about it, ain't you?
He also teaches them what he did so well in the NBA, bending the rules without getting caught by the referee.
Watch Jordan's left hand here as he gives Russell the push. The referee can't see that.
We asked him to demonstrate. If somebody is coming at you and trying to, what do you do?
I'm basically going to use his physical aggressiveness against him. So if he's reaching a touch, I use it.
You can get away with that.
If you do it good enough, you can.
And what about if I've got the ball and you pull on jerseys?
No.
I mean, you can.
See, I can steal you. Or I can hold you from doing things.
If I want to go this, yeah.
Simple, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't jerk on you too hard, did I?
No, I'm all right, man.
You pay $15,000, I got to let you win sooner or later.
The guys have the opportunity to pick Michael Jordan's brain, not only about basketball, but also about life.
Michael, I have a 9-year-old who has a passion for the game. The thing that gets in his way more than anything is the emotion of failure and losing.
As a parent, you have to simplify it as much as possible to show them that either way, I still love you if you miss that shot. It's tougher for me than you because my oldest thinks he should be the next Michael Jordan just by birthright, and to try to talk him out of it, my wife and I are driving ourselves nuts to say, hey, kid, just have a good time. It's only one Michael Jordan.
Although it may be hard to believe now, Michael Jordan was an unlikely champion. He didn't make the varsity team in high school until his junior year. Jordan says no one in his family ever expected him to amount to much, and that's what has fueled his will to win. I read in your book that attitude, that competitive drive, came from being in a family where you felt you had to prove to your parents that you could succeed because of all the kids in your family?
Sure.
You were the one who was least likely to succeed?
I felt that because I wasn't really a work-conscious type of person. But I was a player. I loved to play sports. And in their wildest dreams, they never thought that I would be a professional athlete.
Did you?
No.
That all changed in 1982 when Jordan was a skinny freshman at the University of North Carolina. He made the shot that won the NCAA title in the final seconds of the game.
Jordan! Michael Jordan! 14 seconds!
That put Michael Jordan on the map. As my mother or my father would say, that changed Mike Jordan to Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan became more than a name. He became a name brand whose face has sold everything from soft drinks to sneakers, from fast food to underwear. Endorsements earn him an estimated $35 million a year, even though he's no longer playing basketball.
That's all, folks.
Well, that's my line.
Over the years, he's written 4 books, including Driven from Within, which comes out tomorrow. The book is published by Simon & Schuster, a sister company of CBS.
It's got to be my size.
Jordan also oversees the Jordan brand, a subsidiary of Nike, with revenues of $500 million a year. It includes accessories, a full line of clothing, and of course, sneakers. Jordan has final approval on everything. When he meets with his design team, there's no detail too small for him.
So we were thinking about going gray.
Yeah, but you're killing yourself with so much gray over here.
Right.
Well, spring is blue, pinks, all those are spring colors.
So it's not just, here's my name, use it.
Oh, no. No, I do have a sense, I like control. I like control with my involvement.
He runs his corporate empire from high atop Chicago, the city that made him famous.
Could you have imagined when you first started playing that one day you'd be sitting up here running a company that's worth $500 million?
No. I never really thought about it. All I thought about was doing what I was good at and letting that open up a lot of opportunities for me and choosing from that point on, you know.
Jordan spends just 2 days a week in the office and travels occasionally to charity events and meetings with his team at Nike in Oregon. But a large chunk of his time is spent on the golf course, which has replaced the basketball court as his proving ground. He has worked his handicap down to a 4 and says he's addicted to the sport, often playing from sunrise to sunset, 54 holes a day.
For a competitive junkie like me, golf is a great solution because it smacks you in the face every time you think you have accomplished something.
Oh!
That to me is taking over a lot of that energy and that competitiveness for basketball.
At the height of his stardom in the NBA, Michael Jordan walked away from a game he conquered to a game that conquered him. He retired from basketball in 1993 and tried his hand at baseball with the Chicago White Sox. Over the course of his 1 full season in the minors, he struck out 114 times and made 11 errors. Most would consider that a failure, but for Jordan it was just another challenge.
So you didn't consider your experience in baseball a failure?
No, by no means.
But people would look at those numbers, as you would say, and say, hey, man, you couldn't cut it.
I know, but I mean, it's people's perception of what standard is. And you know, I wasn't expecting myself to be, you know, Babe Ruth or Barry Bonds or anyone like that. I was trying to understand and play the game, enjoy the game, see if my skills could compete on that level.
His newest testing ground is motorcycle racing. He sponsors a team and enjoys speeding around the track at up to 150 miles an hour.
Is that about an adrenaline rush? Is it? I mean,
Yeah.
because it's dangerous, Michael.
Sure, a lot of things are dangerous. You know, I like motorcycles, I like speed. That to me is a rush.
Jordan seems to live his life on the edge, knowing that it could all end at any moment. In 1993, his father, James Jordan, his first coach and closest confidant, was robbed and murdered at random in North Carolina.
His death must have been a terrible blow to you.
The thing that I looked at, the death of my father, unfortunately, it happened at the hands of another human being, which In essence, that's very difficult to deal with, just the notion of being able to kill someone. But I had him for 32 years, you know, and he taught me a lot in 32 years. You know how many kids get that opportunity? Very few, you know, in today's society, get the chance to spend that much time with their parents and get that type of influence.
Jordan says his mother Dolores and his late father were his biggest role models, hardworking, generous, and disciplined. He says fans should look closer to home for inspiration, rather than looking to big-name athletes for direction.
We can give impressions, we can give examples, but to institute and implement those, there have to be people closer to them to see that individual, see those kids day in, day out.
And for those people who've criticized you for not being more outspoken on political and social issues, who perhaps would like to see you be the kind of black iconic figure that, say, Muhammad Ali was in his day, or Arthur Ashe, or Jackie Robinson.
It's a heavy duty to try to do everything and please everybody. You know, my job was to go out there and play the game of basketball as best I can and provide entertainment to everybody who wanted to watch the game of basketball. You know, obviously people may not agree with that. And, you know, once again, I can't live for what everybody's impressions of what I should do and what I shouldn't do.
One stain on Jordan's otherwise clean image was the allegation that he had a compulsive gambling problem. The NBA cleared him in 1993 after conducting 2 investigations. But today, Jordan admits he's made some reckless choices at the gambling table with his money.
Yeah, I've gotten myself into situations where I would not walk away, and I've pushed the envelope. Is that compulsive? Yeah, it depends on how you look at it. If you're willing to jeopardize your livelihood and your family, then yeah.
And you're not willing to do that?
No.
Your father said that Michael doesn't have a gambling problem. He has a competitive problem.
Yeah.
What did he mean by that?
You know, I want to win. You know, I want to go out on the limb and win, you know, and sometimes that can take you past the stage that you probably should take a step back from. That sometimes I don't look at that line, I just step over that line. It's a very embarrassing thing. It's one of the things that you totally regret. So, you know, I look at yourself in the mirror and say, I was stupid. I was really stupid. But we all are. But you have to be able to look in that mirror and say that you're stupid.
Perhaps Jordan's biggest professional failure was his tenure with the Washington Wizards. In 2000, he became a part owner and top manager of the team, and then decided he could make a bigger contribution by going back on the court. Although he had moments of greatness, his knees began to fail him, and he announced he was done as a player. Soon after, the Wizards unceremoniously fired him.
Did you see getting fired coming?
No. If that was the case, then obviously I wouldn't have went back to play, because I felt like I played injured. I went through surgery, and I did the things that a lot of the young kids and did not do, and I didn't have to do it. But I did it with the benefit of trying to help an organization get back on its feet. And the gratitude that I was being given was, your services no one wanted or needed. So I felt like I was used in a sense. But, we all been in a situation where we've been used, and we regret what but you learn.
And after his long career, Jordan can't keep silent about the state of basketball today. He says that too many young players are overpaid and overindulged, affecting their work ethic and hurting the game he loves so much.
But the kids today, they're being given things that they haven't earned. And I don't want to seem like an old school, traditional, bitter type of guy. You ask me, and I'm telling you that I think the game is being cheated because of the success that's being given prior to them earning it. Simple as that.
Michael Jordan is not ready to walk away from basketball completely. He hopes to own an NBA team someday, and while he knows he'll never play again, he's cocky enough to think he could.
At age 42, you think you could play in the NBA and make a contribution?
Oh, yeah, sure. Even though the mind, physically, I can't do it, the mind says that, yeah, I can still do it. And I still think I can do it better than most in the NBA.
Wow, that looks so easy, doesn't it?
Tonight's special broadcast of 60 Minutes with fewer commercials